Hey guys, and welcome to another Polymer clay tutorial. Today we are finally going to create the visitor skin from the blockbuster challenges from Fortnite. I can't believe this is my very first video after hitting 1 million subscribers on our channel. This is our achievement and I already celebrated it with the image I posted, but I will also prepare a really surprisingly big, huge, crazy special on YouTube. But I think it may take a while, maybe another week or two, I'm still not sure. I will keep you updated and you can look forward to that video because I really think you will like that. Now, let's talk about today's creation for a minute. We are creating the visitor skin, aka blockbuster skin, and you asked me to create this one a long time ago and somehow I failed to create it earlier. I'm sorry for that, for those of you who have been waiting for a long time. And this is the first creation to be in an action pose. So this is why I didn't create a new blueprint for that. I just used the one from I think it was the Omega skin. So because this was the starting point and now we can work out and create all the moving body language parts we want to see in this creation, and hopefully at the end, after 20 minutes, the skin will look quite alive, as if he is really running the visitor skin. Well, I think the official name is visitor skin, but everyone calls him blockbuster skin, right? I think this is because of the challenge. And this creation is also the very first one to feature a weapon from Fortnite. Yeah, I can't believe that. When I created the skins in the past, most of the time I either created them without any kind of thing in their hand, or I created them with their harvesting tools, with the axe. Yeah, that made sense. So, now well, what should we talk about? Of course, the creation, but first, you've seen on Twitter that I was on Gamescom here in Germany. It was impressive. The entertaining area was so crowded. I can't believe. Well, maybe some of you have been on a big gaming conference. E3 is quite similar, I think. But I think Gamescom is even bigger, and you wouldn't believe it. So many people, so many people in one hall, in one exhibition. And there was a huge Fortnite booth, of course. And luckily, because of this channel, I was invited from Fortnite and I could join the other creators and the other YouTubers. Most of them I didn't know. I'm sure you would have recognized them because they were all the big streamers from Fortnite. So I talked to some of them. They were quite nice, but I can't remember all the names. And the whole experience on Gamescom was crazy. I watched some new games which are coming next year or even the year after. Cyberpunk 2077, for example. So this will definitely find its way to my channel. And there were different other games I can't even remember because it was so much. Yeah. Quite a great experience for me, this year's Gamescom. You can still visit it, I think it's still tomorrow, yeah. So, let's talk about the huge milestone we hit, 1 million subscribers, while creating the foot. The right boot boot, yeah, the right boot of the visitor skin. When I started this channel, I always thought, or maybe it was just a dream, that I would hit 1 million subscribers one day, but it feels completely different than I had ever thought it would be like. It's now that it is real, it just feels so fantastic to get the support from the community, so this means from you guys, to make my passion and make even a living out of that, and to create all my ideas and find new great games and create characters and maps and many more ideas. This is just what I love, and I really want to encourage all of you to look and find the passion you really care about and even make that as a living. So maybe it takes some while and you start with a different job, but one day you find the passion and then you go for it. And I can't tell you how happy I am that I can now tell you I found it in my life. What I want to do, it is clay. Not only these skins, but stop motion, for example. Still a big issue for me. I'm really working hard on that dream, that it comes alive, and I am so looking forward to share that with you in the very near future. So stay tuned for that. Now let's talk about the creation, what you are here for. 2 zippers on the trousers of the visitor skin, and as the base layer of the creation is black, it is not that difficult. What makes it quite difficult is the action pose we are creating, because normally I can just rotate the creation in my hand and create it for all the details from all sides. But right now it's quite difficult because there is already this big stand in the way. Some yellow and gold brings us this nice bright color for the 2 cartridges, the ammo, and there will be even some more ammo on the weapon itself, on the heavy shotgun. But let's create this skin first. Now the belt, we are fixing that to the belt itself with brown clay. It's always so difficult to get the right color from the creation. The trousers, for example, I created them black, but on some images the trousers looked quite dark blue. So this was maybe because of the lighting conditions in the game from the screenshots, or maybe it was the real trousers which are blue. I'm not sure about that. When looking at the skin itself, where you can rotate the 3D model, it looked quite black, so I decided to go black. Now silver and bright blue brings us this color, and we will need it for the protection, for the armor, sorry. And we cut it into shape that it fits his body. And this is the protection part for the breast muscles. Here we go, just some space for the neck. And there are 2 silver lines on the front of the chest. And into this blue tiny box we will stick 1 tube. And we are mixing this nice color. We will use it multiple times. For example, for this badge, which is on the shoulder, I think. No, on the chest, sorry. I mixed this color with silver, orange and gold. Now some orange light into the middle. Already looks crazy detailed and quite nice. It goes into position, and now there is some more protection around the neck. First, let's use some black clay for the neck, and this is the protection. Looks quite fashionable, nice. Is this even a word? Fashionable? These are the shoulder stripes to hold the armor in position, I guess. There's another pocket on the left shoulder, on the left arm, and the bandage, of course. There is not much work left for the upper body part. All we have to create are the arms and the fingers, of course, and then we have to do some work on the back side of the creation, but then we can focus on the head, the backpack, and also the weapon. So this would be the attaching point for the hands. Already, or still using the same blue clay, and this will be the right hand. Just using the scissors, stick it onto the wire. This always helps a lot to find the right position. Adding some more details to the lower arms, the connection pieces in blue clay. You can actually cover the gap quite nice with these connection stripes. And there will be a thorn after oven hardening, adding the thumbs, of course. And while creating the hands, I always had this image right in front of me on the iPad, where I saw the weapon, the heavy shotgun, in the hands. And I wanted to create the hands as natural as possible for the weapon. I almost thought about creating a different weapon. I tell you later more about that. Because you were included in the decision, of course. So, now the backside of the creation. We need to create a base layer of blue clay. And after we finished the armor on the backside, just some more details on the front part. And now, let's work on the tube. Tubes are funny to create from clay. Somehow they are quite easy, but on the other hand it should look realistic, and therefore you have to make these tiny gaps I just made with a modeling tool in the same distance each time when hitting the clay. You get me. So this is the coat on the back side, which looks a bit damaged. The whole creation reminded me of Boba Fett from Star Wars. I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels that. And maybe even this character is based on this Star Wars character. So this is the backpack. This door in the backpack even opens when the character is running. Therefore, we have to create it wide open, and you see the engine inside. I'm not sure what this is for, but it looked amazing, and I just wanted to create it as detailed as possible. So, this is maybe, I have no idea, but it looks like a hairdryer on the right side. Even, or especially after we are attaching the tiny tubes. Yeah, I think they are more like wires. So this is the connection part for the valve, and we will add that, of course. And these are the wires, 2 of them. They go right from the hairdryer into the backpack. So 2 more details for the valve. And we need some toilet paper that the coat stays right in position. Now, let's work on the head. This was quite challenging because when creating heads you want to make sure you get all the right proportions of the face, that it really looks realistic and like the original version on the images. So I took my time, spent some extra time on the head, and later also on the face. In this case, this means the crosshair, the crosshair face. So these are the ear whatever's on the side. Is he wearing headphones? It looks a bit like that. Yeah. Some more silver for the head. And this part of the mask looks like an oxygen mask. Doesn't it? So now we take some bright red clay for all the details in the face. And as you know, you can choose between 4 different faces of the visitor skin. First a thought about creating the dumb smiley, but the crosshair would be the most appropriate one for this skin. It looks so futuristic and so, I don't know, Boba Fett-like. Now let's focus on the weapon, and you decided actually that I should create the heavy shotgun. To be honest, I have just no idea of all the weapons in Fortnite, so I asked you on Instagram, on the image I posted, which weapon I should include in this creation, and I think you can see this right now. Most of you guys really wrote and voted for the heavy shotgun. Some of you asked for the sniper, and even some of you suggested to create 2 pistols. This would have also been great, but I think for the end result the heavy shotgun looks just nice. Now let's work on the stand. This is the last working step before we put everything into the oven for oven hardening, and we will just add some grass details. For the ground, you can already hear the noise when running in Fortnite on the ground. Yeah. This is a new technique I used for grass. You know my technique I used for the Clash Royale stands, right? So, my wife and baby in the background. And we're ready to go into the oven. Freshly baked visitor skin. And the head. And the heavy shotgun. And the funny part starts. We will now assemble and put everything together using the super glue for that. And this one didn't really work well, so I had to open it. Yeah, this always happens. I don't really like the super glue. I'm still looking for a better glue. I will let you know if I find a better one. So the weapon is finished, and now we can put it into the hands, and we don't even have to glue it because it is just so tight in the hands. There are some symbols on this valve of the backpack. Glue it into position. Whoop. It already looks so nice, so fantastic. Some more glue. Before this tutorial is over, let me ask you, which female skin should I create next? Because you are right, so many of you wrote me that I finally should create a female skin. Just let me know which one would be best to start with. Gluing the last 2 details onto the creation, and guys, I guess that's it! The visitor! I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. 1 million subscribers, well, no words for that. I'm preparing a special which is coming next week, maybe the week after, who knows. It will be crazy, great, amazing. Have a great weekend and hope to see you next week. Take care, bye.